is basically a feature that you get from Naviswork, all right? And this is an example of a search set that we have in our project. Okay, so I mean, as you know, there are a lot of informations, okay, that comes from Revit to Naviswork. And what you can do is that you can specifically look into I mean, items that you wanted to filter or search, okay? Basically, what we suggest everybody to do is basically look into, I'm going to move this forward. I need to move it here, right? I mean, for example, if you are, I mean, with this search set, basically what we are doing is basically we look into the waste management system, okay? And basically this will actually point to a file. And these are the category, property, conditions, and value that you would see, right? So, and I mean, this would actually comes from the property of the elements, all right? Another sample is basically, I mean,
yes. I understand this question. So, because right now you are submitting 3D along as 2D as well. So your 2D will continue from previous submission. So whatever you submit.
Okay, so I'm going to continue. If you have any questions, okay, can that please be asked later, all right? If you are not muting your computer, please do that, all right? Okay, so yeah. So now the next thing is basically, I mean, with regards to how can you look for items, right? I mean, you can actually look, like in this case, we actually look for, I mean, a file, all right? Okay, within a file, okay, but this one here, we actually look into, you know, another search set, all right? So this will actually look into, I mean, cold water pipe, okay, but this would narrow down to, you know, a much, I mean, much specific area of that selections, all right? I mean, what you can do is that you can simply, I mean, add to the inquiry that you wanted, all right? And you can actually go and have a few of this, and this would actually make a very good, I mean, tools for you to be able to do your search much better and faster, all right? The other thing that we would like to suggest very much, okay, for our customer, for user of Naviswork to do is basically to work on, I mean, a very good or proper view organizations, right? For example, for these projects that we had, again, I mean, the project in NWD file alone is about 2 GB of files, all right? So this is a 38-story building, all right? And in total, I mean, I don't even bother to calculate how many files that we have in there. But what you do is basically you organize it properly, all right? So that it's easier for you to look for the informations. And the other thing that you can do is basically tie this back to the reports that you are going to create, all right? So for example, okay, with this, okay, I mean, there is an issue, okay, folder, all right, and this is for progress meeting, and this is issue number 3, okay. So that is with regards to this, I think, this waste pipe that we have here, all right. Sanitary or waste pipe, all right. And what you can do is that you can, I mean, use this to monitor how this progress, and it map back into your project reports, all right. So you can clearly see, I mean, these files being, I mean, managed, okay. It's not just about the report that you're going to manage, but also you start to manage all these report, I mean, informations out of your Naviswork file, all right. And then the third part is, I mean, how can you get better reports, all right? So this trip, basically, what you wanted to do is that, I mean, once you actually do your clash reports, right? The standard clash reports that you get, okay, could actually be containing informations that you don't need, all right? So if you look at this, okay, this is the sample of clash reports, okay, settings that we have, all right? I mean, when we do our clash analysis, right? And I mean, one of the things that we do there is basically to look into, I mean, some information that is, I mean, that you can actually get out of the report, okay, in the checkbox here, okay, distance, all right? I mean, the grid locations, you can include images and whatnot. But what I wanted to emphasize is, I mean, you need to have a good, I mean, quick properties, okay, because there is a checkbox for quick properties in there, all right? So what is this quick properties checkbox, all right? So this quick properties checkbox will actually go and get the informations, okay, out of the Naviswork, okay, general setting, okay, Naviswork manage general setting, and you have these quick properties definitions, right? And what you can do is that you can I mean, dictate your quick properties to actually go and show some information when you hover your mouse over an element, all right? And what you can say is that you can actually go and put in the type of information that you wanted to see, but then this would also be useful to be part of the report, all right? So in here, okay, so we have categories such as item and the property name, okay? So, I mean, the thing to understand is that where are these informations coming from, right? So, if you're familiar with Naviswork, right? I mean, you can click on element and then will bring up this properties box, or I mean, properties panel, right? So, now, this is what you would see, okay, with your, how to say this, quick properties, right? So you hover on an element, you'll get this, right? And it would show this, okay, item, okay, and then the name, M concrete rectangular beam, and then the category, so that's the category, all right? And then this is important, the element ID, right? And then the last one is basically the category, okay, or basically the source file, right? So you would want to have these informations exported out, okay, together with the Naviswork report, because you can do more with it, all right? We'll get into that later, all right? So basically, you can see that that's where it match, all right? So that's where it match, okay? And okay, so that's where it matches as well, all right? And basically, this information comes from the property panel. So you can see that, okay, this would actually be under the item tab. So you have two property in there, which is the name and type, okay? And then the rest of it will actually comes from the rest of these tabs that we have up here, all right? Okay, so the other things that I would like to actually go and share, all right? But before that, okay, I just wanted to show this, all right? So this is the project that that I mentioned earlier, all right? So if you look into this, okay, so how we manage the coordinations, all right? I mean, this view, all right? So we put emphasize a lot on this save viewports, right? So we have way to so that you can actually have a way for you to properly track, okay, what's happening, because I've sat in a meeting where we see that the views are not properly coordinated, so you'll be scrambling here and there to look for the information, right? So in any case that I mean, if this project progresses, okay, you can see that everybody can look back to the issue 1, okay, and you will open that and you can actually go and see, okay, what's happening in issue 1, okay? So I mean, there are other things that you can do, right? If you wanted to, you can actually go and put a review on this view and whatnot. If you wanted to actually do that, all right? But I mean, having this would definitely make things easier for you, right? Because you can just jump from one view to another, all right? And if I go and move my, I mean, my cursor, all right? So you can see that if I move my cursor here, so that would actually be the quick properties, and then the quick properties will actually contains the information that you can actually go and click on, right? So if I go and I mean click on this informations in here, of course, I mean, how do you select? Okay, it's actually based on this. Okay, so you can actually go and change, all right, so that it gets to, let's say, this wall here, all right? And I mean, what I wanted to also share is the fact that, okay, so I have this property, I mean, button there, right? And if you look into this, when I select this element, so this is where the quick property is actually referring to. Okay, so it refers to this information, right? So when you actually go and create your clash detection, all right, so these are the informations that you would want to be able to bring out into the report, okay? And I mean, how you do that is basically by, I mean, clicking on the options here. And then we have this, I mean, interface, okay? So we have these quick properties, okay? And that's the definitions that you can actually, that you can actually go and work on, right? So it takes a while, right? Because it would actually go and scan the model to see for, I mean, the type of informations that you can extract, okay, with the quick properties, all right? Okay, like I mentioned to you, this is quite a big project. Okay, so you can see that you can actually go and select, all right? So if I take item there, so it would actually be from them, all right? And I mean, and then the property name would actually be this property here. Okay, so in this case, name, so that's why it's written there, basic wall. So if I go and put that, all right? And then the category, okay, this is again item, okay, that's the tab, okay, and then the property type, okay, so I would actually go and get that. So these are the I think one of the good practices that you need to do, all right, in order for you to be able to extract the report out properly, all right? So let's go back to this, all right? So now, when we talk about how you can integrate this, or better manipulate these informations, of course, if I go and show you a sample of information that comes out directly out of the reports, okay, it would actually be something like this. Okay, so when you export out, okay, always try to export it in the form of this HTML, all right? And you can, or what you can do is that you can open it directly in, in this, how to say this, in Excel, all right? And these are all the information that I've extracted. Okay, so let me just expand this. Okay, so you can see that, okay, I have these informations in here. And I have this element ID, all right? So then what I can do is that I can also check which file that this element ID is actually referring to, so that if I need to do any modification, I can go to that file easily, all right? Okay, so of course, there is a tool within Naviswork that would enable you to click on an element and then bring it out and open it directly into Revit, okay? But just think about if you are not the same person doing this, all right? You would actually, you work on Naviswork, somebody else work on Revit. They would want to be able to just look into, okay, what are the tasks that they need to do, all right? So again, this goes back to your workflow, right? So this is what you can actually do, right? But of course, okay, what you can do is that you can actually make this better, all right? What you can do is that you can you can actually go and edit the file, the Excel file, all right? And then within Excel, what you can do is that you can actually do a filter, all right? So for example, okay, if I wanted to just check, okay, on any file, all right? So let's say that I wanted to check any clashes with the structure file, all right? So I can see that, okay, these are all the structure file. Let's say that I wanted to focus on level 9, all right? So let's see if I have level 9. So what I can do is that I can uncheck this, okay? And I can just go and look for level 9, right? And basically, now I have this, right? And what I can do is that I can look for, the element ID, right? And if you are familiar with Revit, you can actually then open this on your Revit and then look for that elements via the element ID. All right, so this would actually go and expedite certain things. All right, so you can extend the information that you've gotten out of your Naviswork into Revit, okay, via